Now, we need your help. We need your help. And look, this is the key part. This is fun. We love to come to the rallies. I know most people here, I think probably 100% of you are already registered to vote. Here's the deal. You know, my generation did a lot of things, and we did change, although we made plenty of mistakes. But one mistake that I think we made is after America was changed on civil rights and women's rights and gay and lesbian rights and a more sane foreign policy, we kind of took a little time off. We thought we didn't have to be involved because after all the changes had been made. Well, it turns out that democracy, like every other human invention, has to be nurtured. And if you don't nurture it, it starts to die. And we've seen what happens when you get people in the White House that are committed more to their party than they are to their country. And we can't have that anymore. And it's going to be up to you and your generation. This is not just about electing Barack Obama and taking power for a new generation as we did when John Kennedy was elected in 1960. This is about taking long-term responsibility for your country. This conference, the fact that we're here at this conference is not an accident talking about this. You are the ones that are powering these changes. But you cannot rest on your laurels. We're going to win the White House. Barack Obama will be the next president of the United States. But that is not enough. We have to rebuild this country. And we have to, it is from the bottom up, we have to rebuild this country so that it stands for ordinary people again. You know, I'll tell you, the nicest thing about Crawford is, other than the fact that the president has a ranch there, Crawford is a small town in America, like many other small towns, where if you have to drive 50 miles to the nearest job because that's the best you can do, you're really struggling. And they get that we need change. In Crawford, Texas, and in small towns in Minnesota and Connecticut, it's all the same. They get that we need fundamental change in America. And when your generation comes to power this year, you need to continue to be part of the political process. Whether you're blogging, and I hope you're all giving $10 or $20 a month to the DNC or to Obama's campaign or however you want to do it, whether you're doing that, whether you're voting. Remember, I used to say voting gets you a D. That's the bare minimum you have to participate. We need you out there. And here's what we need you to do. We need you, when you get back to your home states, we need you to register people to vote. Yeah! Charlie Brown lost his race by 9,000 votes the last time. They have already registered 10,000 new voters. That's not going to be enough. He can't expect 90% of those folks to vote for him. We need you to register votes. Now, every state has slightly different registration rules. So we need you to go to the Obama campaign, or we need you to go online, or we need you to go to your state party and volunteer to register people to vote. And that is not enough, because it's easy to register people to vote compared to getting them out to vote. And we need you to go door to door. There's the neighborhood leadership program. You can go on. It's going to be in every state, either through your Democratic Party or through the DNC, Democrats.org, and go to the neighborhood leadership program. The most powerful people in America in getting people to vote are you. It's not Rush Limbaugh or Bill O'Reilly. You are more powerful than they are to the people that you know. We proved this. We did a lot of work. This is not your grandmother's DNC. And among the many things that we did in terms of getting all the technologies, I would just want to thank all the 25-year-olds who slept under their desks for 2 years at the Democratic National Committee to have a national voter file. But that is not all. That is not all. We did a lot of work. And in the Virginia governor's race in 2005, we invested 1/5 of their entire campaign budget on the condition that we got to understand what drove people to the polls. And we had, as a good doctor, naturally control groups, right? And they got those lovely robocalls, and they got internet stuff, and they got particular ads right to their door, and then they got some radio. Different groups got different things. All these groups, you saw a bump up in 1 or 2% of the vote. And that matters. There's a lot of elections been lost or stolen for 1 or 2% of the vote in the last 8 years.
Yeah. Especially stolen.
But the most important thing that was done, and college students were great, knocking on doors in the last 3 weeks, that gets your turnout up a little bit. The most important thing that we did, which we've now gone nationally with, is a person knocking on the doors in their neighborhood of somebody they either know or having something in common with. That boosts the turnout up by 12%. I want you to think of a state like Texas. If you make $30,000 a year, you drive a pickup with a gun rack in the back. Historically, in the last few decades, you voted Republican. Except for one thing. If you belong to a union, you still vote Democratic. And what's the difference? Same pickup, same gun rack, same. The difference is somebody talks to you that you know and you've worked with for 12 years about why it's important to vote for a Democrat on a regular basis. That is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to go out and explain to people why it makes a difference. People that you know, and we'll do it in an organized way. If you go up and dial up Democrats.org, we'll send you back to 20. We put our GPS system on top of the voter file we built for the whole country. We can identify your 25 neighbors. If you don't like one of them or they don't like you, send the address back. We'll send you a different one and send that to somebody else. You can even design your own campaign literature within limits. You don't like our list of issues, put one at the top and get rid of the other one. In fact, if the neighborhood we've asked you to canvass doesn't look anything like it does in the pictures in the campaign literature, we've got a whole other set of photos. You can put them in instead. But we need you to do this. Now, we started out asking everybody to knock on 25 doors in their neighborhood, which we'll tell you where they are, 3 times between now and the election. Now, bless the state of Oregon. Anybody here from Oregon? Yes, God bless the Democratic Party in Oregon. They decided they were going to do 40 doors 4 times. That's better. Think about this. To knock on 40 doors you can do that over a weekend. I don't think there's a person here who can't spare 4 weekends between now and this election to have fundamental change and a new direction for the American people.
Right.